Imagine this. You're at a glamorous party with hundreds of people in expensive suits and dresses, and your father, who's supposed to be celebrating his retirement, decides to humiliate you in front of everyone. How do you react? I'm Heather, and this is the story of how I decided to erase myself from a family that never really saw me for who I was. But before I take you back to that moment, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You won't want to miss how this story unfolds. Now, let's rewind a little. I was 32 when it happened, just 3 weeks ago. My father, Richard Ivins, had spent years building his empire, and on the night of his retirement party, I had the chance to walk away for good. But first, let's go back 12 years to when things truly started to fall apart. I grew up in Fairfield, Connecticut, in a picture-perfect family. My father was the CEO of a successful logistics company, and we had all the trappings of wealth: a 6-bedroom home, Mercedes cars, and memberships at exclusive country clubs. The world saw us as the ideal family. But behind closed doors, things weren't perfect. My mother passed away when I was just 8 years old. My father remarried shortly after, and soon I was no longer the center of attention. My stepbrother Marcus was. From then on, I was invisible in my own family. The day I was 20, everything changed. I was at college, excelling, planning my future, but then I got a call to come home. My father and stepmother wanted to talk. It was a family meeting, a term I'd learned never meant anything good. I walked into my father's study and was told that I'd have to leave college. Marcus had been accepted to Wharton for his MBA, and they couldn't afford both his tuition and mine. But there was one problem. They had the money, they just didn't want to spend it on me. They made it clear that Marcus was the future, and I was just there. I didn't argue. Instead, I made a promise to myself. I'd never let anyone else decide my worth again. I moved to Boston with barely anything, just $2,000 in savings and a suitcase. I got a job at a small logistics company where the owner, Walter Barnes, actually saw potential in me. I worked late, studied online, and learned everything I could. I never once asked my family for help. Fast forward 4 years, and I started my own consulting firm, Meridian Consulting. I built it quietly, with no fanfare. I knew my family. If they found out, they'd tear it down. So I kept my success in silence. My grandmother, Margaret Ivins, had always believed in me. After she passed away, I received a phone call from a lawyer, a call that changed everything. My grandmother had left me $800,000 in a trust fund, a gift that no one in my family knew about. She'd known what they had done to me and wanted me to build the life I deserved. I used that money to grow Meridian Consulting, and as time passed, the company grew. I expanded, I thrived, and I made a name for myself. But there was one thing I had never expected. My father's, Ivan's Logistics, became one of my biggest clients. Then, 3 weeks ago, I received an invitation to my father's retirement party. I almost tossed it aside, but something told me I needed to go. I wasn't looking for reconciliation. I knew exactly what my father would do, something unforgivable, and I wanted to say goodbye on my terms. The party was everything I had expected. Posh, pretentious, filled with familiar faces, none of them recognizing me. I wasn't sitting at the family table, of course, no surprise there. But what really struck me was the way everyone pretended like everything was fine. As the night went on, I watched my father bask in praise for his company's success. Success built partly on my hard work at Meridian Consulting, but when it was time for him to give his speech, it took an unexpected turn. With the entire room watching, he made his usual family acknowledgement. He said, and of course my daughter Heather, no degree, no future, just freeloads off the family. The laughter that followed stung, but I didn't flinch, I didn't cry. I just stood up, smiled, and said, cheers. This is the last time any of you will see me. I walked out and the room went silent. What happened next? It's simple. I've moved on. I'm building a future they can't tear down. Meridian Consulting now employs 15 people and generates $4 million in annual revenue. My father doesn't even know that half of his company's success is due to my work. And now I'm not looking back. Not because I need their approval, but because I've learned that the best revenge isn't making them pay. It's living my life, building my own success, and proving to myself that I am worth more than they ever saw in me. So, here's to moving forward, leaving behind the people who never believed in you, to success that speaks for itself. And just like that, I closed the door on my past and walked away, on my own terms.